an Orlando throw. The starting lineups are presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. So Evan Laurel making his third straight start. And this is the same 11 that went to Los Angeles and beat the Galaxy 3-2 a week ago. Echenique making his third straight start. Whips the cross in. Smith there to deal with it for Orlando. Whips the cross in. Smith there to deal with it for Orlando. Muriel, as Oscar Pereira told Andrew Wiebe on MLS Countdown, he wants Maguire's ability to get in behind Cincinnati. But right now it's been all Cincinnati for the first 3.5 minutes of this game on the ball. Orishano into the middle, couldn't connect. Tika tried to take it off of Brecalo, who did well for Orlando City. High early pressure from Cincinnati. Now Orlando City might be able to come forward. Ojeda direct from Maguire. It's where Orlando wants. Oh, Laurel outside of his 18, played it perfectly. Orishano keeps that in play somehow. Looking for Denke. Janssen there for Orlando. High into the air and out for the first corner of the match.
Well, and it becomes difficult for FC Cincinnati. 3 against 1 defending, and Maguire does a good job at getting over the back shoulder of Haglund. Laurel does a great job coming off his line, but then the awareness to play the dangerous ball in behind for Orishano to run onto. Orlando City love to sit in and then be very quick into transition. Great run over the top from Maguire, but good goalkeeping coming off his line from Laurel.
Evander will take the corner. Zendo Mendoza wants to have a discussion first.
Well, Miles Robinson just trying to limit any kind of space for Gallese to come off his line. Keep an eye on Kevin Denke back post.
Evander to the near post. Maguire heads away. Keedy stepping forward, gives it away. Oh, Ojeda is way behind everybody, but Laurel 40 yards off his line deals with it for Cincinnati. Martin Ojeda was a good 20 yards behind everybody from FC Cincinnati, and they just couldn't get it right.
I mean, it's one thing to throw numbers forward. It's obviously attacking set piece, but the lack of awareness for a player with 30 goal contributions on the counter has to be alarming for Pat Noonan in Cincinnati.
Nobody stayed back for Cincinnati. They got away with it. Now it's Keedy for FC Cincinnati to Brenner. Evander, closed down by Atuesta, spins away. Finds Echenique. Echenique cutting it back. Denke's header saved by Gallese. Keeping it out with his feet.
Well, this was the combination that saved 3 points at home a couple of games ago against Nashville. Echenique getting a chance to start tonight, but how about the composure and vision for Evander to find Echenique in the back post? Denke does a wonderful job to redirect this, and a big-time save from Gallese.
The long-time starter in Orlando, Pedro Gallese, keeping Kevin Denke from opening the scoring. Pressure continues from Cincinnati. Evander floating this one into the area. Haglund heading it back. Nobody's there for Cincinnati. Maguire knocks it down. Pasalic, Angulo back to Marco Pasalic. Orishano takes it back for Cincinnati.
It's only 8 minutes in, but how different is the level of urgency from Cincinnati on the ball versus a couple of weeks ago, you and I were in this building. It was more Nashville than Cincinnati until the end of the game. But this is the kind of urgency I think Cincinnati needs to play with throughout the rest of the regular season, but more importantly in the playoffs.
Now's the time to turn it on. 3 games to go for Cincinnati, including tonight. 4 for Orlando City. Orishano cuts inside, then clips it in. Denke trying to settle. Smith takes it off his chest. It's back to Denke. Brenner turning, sliding in, breaking it up. Entertaining start to this match. This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by T-Mobile.
Well, Denke does a good job to try to head that back across where Galese's coming from, but Galese's been really good this season compared to last season where he got off to a slow start. He's been more steady this year, and he's come up with bigger saves. 8 clean sheets on the year, but good technique there to keep his feet under him and come up with a big save.
He's known as El Pulpo, the long-time starter for Peru, and a long-time starter for Orlando City, his 6th season in Orlando. Trying to drive that into the corner for Angulo. Robinson cut it off. Guidi stepping forward. Echenike and Evander. Floating it to Orishano. Back to Robinson. Buka. Guidi into Denke, broken up.
That's the second time Guidi's tried to play a ball into Denke, but he's got to take a little pace off of it. Very difficult for Denke to do anything with it.
A lot of Orlando bodies around the Cincinnati striker as well.
Well, what's interesting too, Jake, is that Miles Robinson's really on the front foot of helping the team in the attack, but that leaves space for Angulo in behind in transition.
Dwyer does well with his strength to hold off Echenike. Smith, Alex Freeman. Freeman cutting inside. Back to Martin Ojeda. Clipping it to Angulo. Recolo. Atuesta. Pašalić bounces it out to Ivan Angulo. Back to Pašalić. Cut towards Ojeda. McGuire!
Oh my goodness.
Just wide. What a chance for Duncan McGuire. And he pokes it inches wide of the post.
Well, it's been a difficult season for Duncan McGuire, dealing with injuries. Only his 5th start on the year. Does a great job in tight spaces to just quickly prepare a touch and then put it on goal. Good first touch there. How that is wide is beyond Duncan McGuire in Orlando City. It's difficult in that spot to have a quick first touch, and he does all the hard work. Should have been 1-0 Orlando City.
He scored the game-winning goal late against Nashville last week in the 5th minute of added time. Oscar Pereira said there's a big goal for Duncan McGuire, who recently returned from missing 16 games after having shoulder surgery. He also had shoulder surgery in the offseason. In the offseason, it was to his right shoulder. During the season, to his left. He's been through a lot over the past calendar year. Oscar Pereira thought that goal would set him on, give him the confidence needed to get back to the form, the wonderful form that Duncan McGuire was in his first year in Orlando in 2023, and he scored 10 goals last year.
Well, his return to form allowed them to sell Enrique, because at one point they had 3 strikers and yet couldn't really settle on who was going to be their 9. I think that goal really solidified that decision to sell Enrique and let Muriel and McGuire fight it out for the starting spot.
Ramiro Enrique now in Saudi Arabia. Aglin gets there in front of Ojeda. as well to keep it in play. Pat Noonan, FC Cincinnati's fourth-year manager, took a team that finished in last place in Major League Soccer their first 3 seasons, from 2019 to 2021, and now he's brought them to the playoffs 4 straight years. They won the Supporters' Shield in their in Pat Noonan's second year in 2023, and they are chasing that trophy and MLS Cup once again this year. Here's Angulo cutting it back. Pasalic has some space. Pasalic on his right, blocked by Guidi. Evander. Orlando City recovered defensively. Since that Supporters' Shield winning year of 2023, no team has won more games than FC Cincinnati over the past 3 seasons. And no team has won more games in a 3-year span in the history of Major League Soccer, excluding the shootout era in the first few years of the league. Evander, Brenner, the combination has been lethal. With Rabona to send it out wide to Orishano. Evander tried one of his own. That didn't come off. Maybe a little too much from FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, the only issue I see with both Brenner and Evander is they're operating in same spaces, right? You can see at times they both want to combine, they both want to drop off. Pat Noonan, a little frustrated with spacing. Good tackle there from Guidi. But the reality is both Brenner and Evander need to be playing off of each other. You can see the Brazilian flair in both players, the ability to do the spectacular, but then it's now, can you combine? And Evander looking at his Brazilian friend saying, anything you can do, I can't do better.
Now, Rosendo Mendoza had a great view of that Rabona attempt from Evander. Samuel Guidi getting a second straight start. There's Oscar Pareja. So Pat Noonan took FC Cincinnati from the bottom of MLS to being a perennial playoff team. Oscar Pareja did the same with Orlando City. Oh, that's a bad giveaway. Ojeda isolated with Robinson. Ojeda, oh, Robinson defended that moment really well. Ojeda still on it for Orlando City into Atuesta. Back to Martin Ojeda. He's fouled.
How good has Ojeda been this season?
Incredible.
And that's a tip of the cap to the manager, because Pareja has done a good job of finding the system that suits his number 10. Isolated one-on-one. Miles Robinson, soon to become the highest paid defender in all of Major League Soccer, defends this perfectly. But Ojeda's done a good job of just finding the game, understanding where in the game he can impact the game. Pasalic playing off of him, Uriel or Maguire. You just got to tip your cap to Orlando City's manager, because it goes against a little bit of how he likes to manage a team and set up a system. And that's why I'd argue they've got the most dynamic attack they've had since he's been manager of Orlando City.
They scored 58 goals this year. They're 1 goal away from the club's single-season record of 59 set last year. Second most goals per game in Major League Soccer this year. This man's a big reason why. Martin Ojeda, who will serve this set piece to the back post. Robinson defended it, headed it away for Cincinnati. Echanike couldn't keep it in play, though. He dribbled into touch. It'll be an Orlando throw. Six straight seasons in the postseason now for Oscar Pareja, after Orlando City missed the playoffs their first 5 years as a club before Pareja took over.
What's he got written down on that hand? I mean, if you're ever going to do a cheat sheet, it's always on the inside of your hand, no?
Maybe it's a diversion. Long throw into the box, knocked down. Oh, Kyle Smith, the Cincinnati native, had a couple chances. First one was blocked, second was into the Bailey.
Well, at top of the 18, Orlando City have found themselves a couple half chances. This one is second chance, just dealing with the long throw. And Kyle Smith, top of the 18, but Pasalic had an opportunity. Ojeda was defended by Miles Robinson. It's the second wave of Orlando City's attack that's finding some space in their final third.
Smith had 2 assists last year in this fixture. It was October 5th, about a year ago. Orlando coming up to Cincinnati. won that match. Smith coming back home, played outside back in that game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife for Oscar Perea. A big depth piece for Orlando City, can play multiple positions. Started at center back in the Leagues Cup third place game, starting in the midfield today. Poppy is what Oscar Perea is known in Orlando. And he has Orlando City on the verge of the longest active playoff streak in Major League Soccer. Right now, that is the New York Red Bulls, who've made it 15 years in a row. They are on the brink of being eliminated. They have a little bit of hope. If they do not make the playoffs this year, it will be Orlando City's 6th straight seasons making the playoffs that will become the longest active playoff streak in Major League Soccer.
It's also a team that's very comfortable on the road. And I mentioned at the top of the show, since 2022, Jake, second most wins, second most points on the road. They're completely comfortable in being uncomfortable and playing on the counter.
Here we go, good ball. Ojeda is in. Martin Ojeda once again. Miles Robinson, that is twice tonight, taking it off of Martin Ojeda. That's a missed chance for Orlando City. Miles Robinson showing why Cincinnati has put a lot of faith in him, giving him a new deal that will make him a designated player.
Well, here we are pontificating about how comfortable Orlando City is on the road. Great combination play from Atuesta, but Ojeda's too slow to pull the trigger, and that allows the pace of Miles Robinson to recover.
Loro pick off his line as well to close it down in that moment.
I remember Miles Robinson, rookie year, Joseph Martinez said there was never a faster defender he's ever played against.
Oh, wonderful ball from Ojeda. McGuire, Freeman, it's blocked. It's another corner. Orlando bringing the pressure now.
Yeah, Orlando bringing the pressure, but quickly getting from their midfield into the final third. Great look here from Duncan McGuire, and Freeman does a good job of trying to find the half a yard. I think if Angulo overlaps, it pulls Nick Haglund and Miles Robinson, and that way Freeman may have had a better angle. But quickly, Orlando City trying to strike in transition. Cincinnati, the best defensive team on corners. If they defend this well, can they get out in transition?
The corner is knocked down. Brekalo there into his own man Janssen. And then the foul.
I mean, everything in and around Cincinnati's goals bouncing and falling to Orlando City players. Janssen doing a good job of holding off his defender. This ball pops out, and yet still defending in the right spot at the right time. Nick Haglund with the second big block he's had in 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was Haglund right there next to Janssen. Miles Robinson floating it forward for Ender Echenique. Brekalo defending. Buka back to Echenique. Vander comes back to get it for Cincinnati. Miles Robinson. Keedy, everybody from Orlando behind the ball defending. Angle put forward for Orishano. Galese will collect. Orishano flicked forward. Brenner settling for Cincinnati. Orishano, Brenner goes down, got around Smith. Play continues. Freeman gave that one away. Echenique just floating it into the box. Smith heads forward. Atuesta settles. Buka, whistle goes. Foul against FC Cincinnati. The Player Spotlight is presented by Allstate. You are in good hands. And for more on the returning Brenner, we'll go down to the pitch and our Andrew Wiebe.
About Brenner's maturation process and his return to Cincinnati. I was more interested in how he was fitting into the current iteration of the club when I went to training on Saturday. About 20 minutes after training ended, Brenner, Evander, still tied to the hip. Kai Kamara told me it's been like that since they got there. I was having a chat with Evander on Friday, and he told me, look, this changes things for me. There's another player to take on responsibility creatively, to take on attention. We like the same positions, we like to combine, and Brenner can get in behind. He says this could be the key to them going to MLS Cup.
It's been a great partnership so far in their last 2 games, 3 goals, Evander to Brenner. Immediate chemistry between 2 wonderful players, and a long journey back for Brenner, who started for FC Cincinnati in 2022. He scored 18 goals, sold to Udinese in Italy in April of 2023. 847 days between games for FC Cincinnati. Back this fall on loan from Udinese, and has 3 goals in 3 games. He's had a wonderful impact since returning to Cincinnati.
Well, there's got to be a little bit better balance, I think, from Brenner and Evander. You can even see the staff of FC Cincinnati a little frustrated with where they're operating. Echenike as well could be a little bit more dynamic off the ball. He's waiting for the ball into his feet, but his pace off the ball is what's going to be a challenge for Orlando City to defend. We saw the tempo in the first, 7-8 minutes. Since then, it's been a lot of Orlando City here.
What's changed for Cincinnati?
I think not as dynamic in possession, and then when you turn it over, it puts Orlando City exactly in the positions they want to be in. A couple combinations of Atuesta into the midfield. Ojeda, if he's had a little bit of a quicker shot or decision, could be a completely different game here.
Heavy expected goals advantage for Orlando City. Duncan McGuire's miss and a couple other on the doorstep that were blocked. But it's scoreless at TQL Stadium, 25 minutes in. FC Cincinnati and Orlando City, 2 teams with big aspirations come playoff time. Cincinnati in second in the East, 58 points, second in MLS. They need to win today to stay 2 points behind Philadelphia in the Supporters' Shield race with what will be 2 games to go. Orlando City 7th in the East, 51 points, but 2 games in hand on several teams above them. If they win out, they will guarantee themselves top 4. Top 4 get home field advantage in the round 1 best-of-3 series in the MLS playoffs. The Eastern Conference is just so good this year. The 9 teams in playoff position right now average over 1.7 points per game between the 9. That would be the 2nd best collection of playoff teams in the conference in MLS history if it ends that way. Only the 2001 Eastern Conference, which had 2 of its 4 teams make the playoffs. It is almost not fair to compare this year's East with that era of Major League Soccer. It's a fantastically competitive conference this season.
And what's remarkable about that, Jake, is Cincinnati still has a shot to win the Supporters' Shield. 2nd seed in the East, and they've only won 8 of 15 games in this building.
But they've done it away from home, and they've done it for 3 years away from home. You mentioned that. 28 wins since 2023 away from TQL Stadium for Cincinnati. Orlando on 23 away from home. Buka trying to find Echenike. It's too far.
Yeah, those are the positions where Pat Noonan would love Pavel Buka. If he can get wide and find any kind of space, then Echenike, Denke, they all can be playing in behind the back line of Orlando City.
Evander towards Denke's header as a Kalese. Out of nothing from 45 yards from goal, a chance created.
Well, and this is why they're 2nd seed in the East in this moment, is the high leverage moments in the final third. They've just got quality. They've got special players in Evander, Denke, and now Brenner. Completely against the run of play. A ball from about, 35 yards out hits the head of Kevin Denke, but right at Kalese.
Evander, 3 assists in Los Angeles last week. A goal and an assist in their game before that. Orlando City driving forward, Pasalic cutting inside. Pasalic on his left, slides it to Ojeda. That took a block. It's a corner again for Orlando City.
Just a brilliant run from Pasalic. The Croatian's been a great compliment to Ojeda. He's done a real good job of reading the kinds of runs and spaces and playing off of Ojeda while he has all the freedom in the world to find the game. Ojeda, rightfully so, 30 goal contributions getting the headlines. But Pasalic has done a brilliant job of being the complement to Martin Ojeda.
11 goals, 4 assists. He was an all-star this summer. Ojeda will take this corner. High into the air. Schlegel over Guidi. It came off of Cincinnati last. Another corner for Orlando City. Oscar Pereira looks on. The writing on the hand, we believe the names of the officials. Rosendo, Corey, wants to know who he's talking to throughout the game.
It was like me with you 3 years ago when we did our first game. Wrote on my hand, shake.
Don't say the wrong one. Don't say the wrong one. Very important one.
Shake.
To the near post. Lauro got a punch. It's Anike trying to knock it down. Here's Kyle Smith. Floating it over to Pasalic. Good ball right on his foot. Pasalic tried to cut it towards the penalty spot. This time it's a goal kick. These are the team benches built by the Home Depot. Yuya Kubo coming back from injury, played a week ago. He is available. Kai Kamara still looking for his first goal in Cincinnati. Trying to score for a 12th team. And Oscar Pereira, a younger bench, and Luis Muriel. He's been starting more often than not this season. Oscar Pereira went with Duncan McGuire. To begin this match, we will certainly see Luis Muriel at some point for Orlando City.
He becomes a tempo changer, doesn't he? He's a little bit more concerned about combinations and possession, running off defenders. I like the idea of McGuire from the start, particularly with this back line of Cincinnati. And while the scoreline may be 0-0, the reality is Orlando City have been the more dynamic team going forward.
Hagelin can't get there. Yeah, that's an Orlando throw. It was Guidi who played it back. Slow reaction from FC Cincinnati. Evander turning, holds off Atuesta. Smith trying to take him down. It doesn't work. Evander back post looking for Brenner. Schlegel there for Orlando City. Atuesta into Buca. Yellow card to Atuesta. And a set piece upcoming for FC Cincinnati.
Well, Atuesta's got to be careful here because he's upset that Buca made the most of the challenge. The yellow card was given, but he's got to be very careful. How about Evander just gliding by two Orlando City defenders and then having the awareness that Brenner's making the back post run. Real good defending there from Schlegel. That's a difficult ball to deal with. Now, Atuesta feels like Buca made the most of it, but then you can't go in for the second yellow. I think the referee did a real good job of managing the high emotional situation there. Evander with a great opportunity gliding by, and Atuesta given a yellow. Now this turns into a dangerous set piece for Evander in Cincinnati.
Evander has scored 3 times from direct free kicks this season, more than anybody in Major League Soccer. One of those came against Orlando City on June 28th when he caught Pedro Gallese off of his line. It was from a similar distance from this, maybe even a little further out and a little bit towards the sideline. Gillespie made a move thinking that Evander was going to cross. Evander drove it with pace to the near post, and it snuck past Gillespie. Gillespie will certainly be aware of Evander's ability, even from this far away.
Well, the thought would be he's going to run onto this and hit it more with his laces to try to get it up and to dip, just to throw off Gillespie.
Here is Evander. He drives it low. It was knuckling, but Janssen was there. Kulo came trying to bait Loro, but Loro gets it away. Atuesta direct for Ojeda. And will chase it down. Ojeda. Guidi heads away. Brenner. He mishit that, but it might work out. Denke. Janssen there first. Atuesta does well under pressure to find Smith. Looking for McGuire. Hagelin breaks it up. Smith crashes into Orejano, gets it over to Freeman. Too far in front of Pasalic. Let's go down to the pitch. Andrew Wiebe sat down with Evander this week. Andrew, you have more on Evander and his MVP chances.
Well, I figured Jake might as well ask the man himself what it would take to pass Lionel Messi and the rest of the pack and win his first MVP. Evander didn't miss a beat. He smiled and he said, if we win Supporters Shield, I would vote for myself for MVP. Right now he's passing the eye test. He's one of 3 players over the last 2 years with more than 50 goal contributions. And hey, if they win the Supporters Shield, Evander's saying, vote for Evander.
Taylor, you surely appreciate that attitude, huh?
What, someone voting for themselves?
Yes.
Absolutely. He just went up a notch in my... Oh, great little cut here.
Janike cutting inside. Here is Evander. Smith there is fouled by Evander. Like it's a difficult situation being an MVP candidate in a league where Lionel Messi is putting up record numbers.
Record numbers, and he's done it at a high clip. I also got a tip of the cap before we finish. Evander, how good has Kyle Smith been playing defensive midfield? But yes, to put a bow on it, any other season or two, Evander's MVP. But the reality is Messi's looking like the first back-to-back MVPs in MLS history.
Martin Ojeda, Anders Dreyer in many other seasons would be the MVP for what he has done for San Diego. Denis Bouanga going on this late surge.
By the way, Bouanga and Son don't look like they're having fun, huh?
We'll see them next week on Sunday Night Soccer when they host Atlanta United. Play continues. Guidi forward with Brenner pulled down. He was. It's yellow to David Brecalo.
Well, I think Atuesta feels a little bit that he was fouled. I don't know if I see it, but Brecalo's upset that he is given a yellow for that challenge. The reality is, though, it was the initial pull of the jersey in the arm is the reason why. Brecalo is saying that he let go, but in my opinion, that impeded the run. And yes, Janssen's nearby. That's why red card and dog show wasn't even part of the equation. But I'm not sure that was an unjust yellow card with how Brenner was inside on a diagonal run of Brecalo.
So David Brecalo joins Eduard Atuesta in the book in this first half for Oscar Pereira's Orlando City. Evander spinning, getting it back from Hagelin. Stepping around Smith, trying to spin away from McGuire, draws another free kick. Two in the wall for Evander as Rosendo Mendoza has a discussion with Martin Ojeda before allowing this restart. Evander clips this one in. That one's pretty easy for Pedro Galese. The match rankings are presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Cincinnati's two center backs leading this match in touches, a defensive midfielder as well. Martin Ojeda, the most touches for Orlando City. That's pretty indicative of the danger that Orlando City has put Cincinnati under. Cincinnati has had more of the ball, but Orlando City has, when they have had the ball, have gotten into dangerous areas. Still scoreless, 40 minutes in. Orlando City and FC Cincinnati. Buka trying to get it back to Echenique. Brekalo was there. Evander. Look at Guidi take it away for Cincinnati and draw a foul.
Orlando City have had themselves a pretty good, solid, strong first half here on the road. It's important that at the minimum you go into halftime with this game scoreless, but it feels like the momentum's a little bit in favor of Cincinnati here. They're forcing the issue, they're causing turnovers, now getting attacking set pieces where they've got one of the best set piece takers in all of MLS.
Orishano trying to hold off Ojeda. The shot from distance was blocked and will be collected by Galese.
I mean, the idea is there, but that was very sloppy from Cincinnati. Pat Noonan and his staff a little frustrated with how they executed that set piece.
Kenny Arena behind Pat Noonan, shaking his head.
Yeah, Dominic Kinnear was very demonstrative too. If you're going to send numbers forward, you've got to take advantage of it.
Just
Orlando
three
City,
shots.
10 shots.
3 for Cincinnati, 10 for Orlando. Pat Noonan won't like seeing those numbers. Oscar Brea certainly will. Orlando City have done everything but score the goal. They forced 2 saves from Evan Loro. They haven't forced a real difficult one out of Loro yet. The best moment, the best opportunity was sent wide by Duncan McGuire, and then they've had a few looks that have been blocked from close range. Evander finds Buka. Denke making a run across. Schlegel got there first.
It was the wrong ball. Echenike was the right one that was on. How about Evander getting them out of that pressure? Good ball here from Pasalic.
Ojeda on it for Orlando.
I think some Pat Noonan Cincinnati may want to talk about it at halftime is any second ball in the midfield that's fallen to someone in a purple shirt. Kyle Smith and Atuesta have done a good job of filling in the gaps where Buka and Giddy have not really had those 50-50 balls, one or the second ball falling into the stride of Pasalic and Ojeda. The spacing's got to be a little bit, I would say, more compact from a Cincinnati perspective. Unless you want to play a game high tempo in transition, which we haven't really seen from Cincinnati tonight.
Started out the game pressing high, and they were kind of all over Orlando for 10 minutes or so. Then Orlando City settled in. They have had the better of the chances in this first half. Cincinnati trying to change that before halftime. Echenike driving forward.
Good
it's
defending.
clean from Angulo, taking it away.
There's so many of the little things right. And now they're out into the open.
Alex Freeman. Pasalic continuing forward. Freeman will float it towards Duncan McGuire. Hagelin there to flick it on.
Well, Echenike is still down off the field after that challenge from Angulo. You just appreciate so many of your attacking players when they put in a real effort on the defensive side of things, and yet Evander Cincinnati have not put the ball out of play. Echenike's trying to come on, but he's got to check in with the fourth official.
Yeah, Brenner
off the field.
Yeah, Brenner kind of stopped the ball on the touchline. It didn't go out of play, and Rosendo Mendoza essentially was like, it's up to you guys.
Well, and now he officially waves him on. Now he's officially on the field.
So now it's back to kind of being normal, 11 v 11. Added time is presented by Audi. There will be a minimum of 2 minutes added in this first half. Brekalo stepping in front of Echenike. Brekalo draws the foul.
It's got a feeling of a playoff game, doesn't it?
Yeah, Gorkagi. And this could be a playoff matchup. Playoff started today. It would be round one. Cincinnati in second, Orlando in seventh. But that is a little bit misleading because of Orlando's games in hand.
Agreed.
When you look at points per game, Orlando fifth most in the East. Yellow card to Samuel Giddy. His first yellow card in Major League Soccer. And the first Cincinnati player in the book today. Angulo cutting back and forth, and still finding McGuire. Blocked by Hagelin. Laurel will let it settle. Cincinnati seem content with getting to halftime. An entertaining first half between two teams in the thick of the Eastern Conference playoff battle, both trying to improve their standings in the final 3 weeks of the season. Scoreless, Cincinnati and Orlando City. Kalen, Kyle, and the guys with us at halftime. This is Sunday Night Soccer presented by Continental Tire on MLS Season Pass and Apple TV+.
It's all happening too fast.
What, you nervous about the wedding?
No, it's the house, dude. We got approved.
Bro, don't stress. This house, it's the one.
Speaking of the one, caterer. We need a caterer.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's exquisite. I could never.
With Walmart's express delivery, you could, as fast as an hour.
Who knew? Who knew?
Interesting. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
A new era of Audi electric performance is here. Built to outperform expectations. With sleek silhouettes, lightning-fast charging, and innovative tech. This is electrifying performance.
Almost done.
It starts with Celsius. Feel I can feel good about. I'm gonna need it. I'm training for life. From after-school pickups to meal prep to a 12-hour night shift. I don't have time to get ready. I've got to stay ready.
Dawn Patrol starts with a Celsius. I got a whole day to seize. First it's cardio, then it's a race against the clock. Refuel. I've got 48 to do in 24.
It's 4:49 a.m. Grab a Celsius, lock in. I've got a goal to hit and a deck to conquer. A party to be the life of and all the essential energy I need to do it.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham. Into the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams. Nice.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico. Car insurance made easy with 24/7 claim service.
Pressure. What pressure? The players on the...
Welcome to the Audi halftime report. Currently 0-0 over at TQL Stadium. Cincinnati taking on Orlando City. Miles Robinson has come up big for Cincy defensively. Orlando just haven't been clinical in that final third. Welcome into our studios, Kaylin Kyle, Sasha Kleshton, Bradley Wright-Phillips. Let's get into the first half highlights. There's a lot to dissect here. Two teams vying for positioning in the Eastern Conference. As teams walk out here, you can see Pedro Gallese getting set for this one, but it was Denke with the opening opportunity. Just couldn't find the back of the net.
Great work down the right by Echenike. Denke, if you see here, he just doesn't get the contact that he needs. You need to smack that header down into the ground.
This was a huge miss, though, for Duncan McGuire.
That was a big opportunity for McGuire. I love how this ball is slammed across the box. Little deflection. He takes a good first touch, but now he goes for the toe poke, and he just kind of skims the side of the ball. You can see his face. He realizes what a big miss that was. But then Ojeda is in, and what a recovery run from Miles Robinson. That is a goal-saving play right there from the center back. That's exactly why he signed a new contract and is stuck in the long term with Cincinnati.
And then that's great defending by both Miles Robinson and Hagelin. Both just putting their bodies on the line. Hagelin takes that, doesn't turn away. That's what you need from your center backs.
Cincinnati continued to pour on late here. Denke with another opportunity, but a good save.
It's half chances for FC Cincinnati. That's going to always be a difficult header from the penalty spot for Denke.
All right, well, taking a look at the first half stats over at TQL Stadium, you can see shots in favor for Orlando City. They've been all over FC Cincinnati, but brilliant defending from Cincinnati's back line. So let's get you over to Andrew Wiebe, who caught up with Pat Noonan heading into the locker room.
Pat, scoreless at the half, but I don't see a look of happiness on your face. What was missing in that first half?
We were rushing too many plays where we were able to break some pressure, and we're trying to combine in ways where it opens up them in transition, which is where they're so dangerous. And, you know, we were fortunate to not concede a goal. So we got to eliminate some of those moments and be a little bit slower to get us moving forward as a team.
How do you take possession and turn it into more danger on the attacking side in the second half?
Patience. We got into some good moments where, you know, we get our wing backs a little bit isolated where they can run, you know, with speed. It allows our center backs and, you know, Sammy from deeper positions to organize in a better way where those plays that we're rushing that I'm talking about don't lead to them having to defend in space.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks.
Interesting from Pat Noonan. They just need patience. Do you agree with that, Sash?
100%. This is more of what we saw against the Galaxy last week also, where they're not respecting the game. They're doing things too fast. Everybody is trying to make the final play. Jesse Marsh used to tell us, play fast, but don't rush. Slow things down a little bit. Get the ball to Evander for Cincinnati.
To Sasha's point, Orlando have been the better side. They've created the better opportunities. But when you're playing against Cincy, we know what they have in that attack. You need to take your chances, especially away from home.
Anything tactical you would change for FC Cincinnati?
No, not tactical. I just think it's more of the patience, better with the ball. The chances will come, but they have to be smart because Orlando has been good.
All right, well, let's get into it. The race to the Golden Boot is presented by Audi, the official automotive partner of Major League Soccer. Sash.
Sam Surridge on 22 goals. He led this Golden Boot race almost all season, but he is falling behind. It is a two-man race to the finish now between Lionel Messi and Denny Bouanga. They both have 4 games left. I think whoever gets to 28 goals this season is going to be the winner.
The race is heating up for the league's top scorers as Bouanga, Messi, and others are sprinting towards the checkered flag to see who takes home the coveted MLS Golden Boot presented by Audi. A huge first 45 minutes in the book. The backline of FC Cincinnati have been electric. Orlando, can they finish their opportunities? Stick with us.
At RBC Wealth Management, we know you have ideas for your future. Ideas that can have you taking more time off or putting more time in. They could mean more peace and quiet or more fun and games. Ideas you can drive or that drive you. From settling in to living it up, what ideas will you bring to life? Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
If I was a flower grown wild and free, all I wanted you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree grown tall and green, all I wanted you to shade me and be my If you were a wink, I'd be a nod. If you were a seed, well, I'd be a pod. If you were a floor, I'd want to be a rug. And if you were a kiss, I know I'd be a hug.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can focus on what matters most.
Hey, Mama. You remember when you taught me how to fish? Yeah, you were the best teacher. Yeah, feeling a little nostalgic right now, that's all.
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day service. That's all part of the AT&T Guarantee, brought to you by America's largest wireless network.
Jameson, a famously smooth whiskey from a famously big family. So big that Jose here could be one of us. You see, he's nearly as smooth as our whiskey. For him, wrong turns usually turn out all right. Even when he shows up uninvited, he's never empty-handed. And he only ever drinks smooth Jameson whiskey. Surely he must be part of the family. Must be a Jameson.
I got something that you never heard. It sounds sweet like a dessert. Ice cold, got you saying burn. Not the same, but you wish you were. Indie grind stepping, from a pole repping. Now pushing with the arms, I'm a little weapon. Slide, bounce, go and get down. Come on, do it now, do it proud, just bless yourself. Sounds good for your health.
It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you rep your club in style.
Welcome back to the Audi halftime report. Currently scoreless over at TQL Stadium. Cincinnati still trying to chase for the supporter shield. Orlando trying to steer clear of that play-in position. Both teams looking for all 3 points here tonight. Caitlin Kyle, Sasha Kleshin, Bradley Wright Phillips. Guys, let's get straight into it. The rewarding performance is presented by Capital One, and it's Pedro Galese's save on Kevin Denke. Could Denke have done better here, BWP?
Yeah, listen, Kay, take nothing away from Galese. It's a good save, but if Denke here on contact can snap his neck and head that into the ground to that far corner, he's going to give Galese big problems. He doesn't get the connection he wants, but really good reaction save from Galese.
The big first 45 minutes in the book. Pat Noonan asking for his side to have a little bit more patience, both defensively and offensively. For Orlando City, arguably probably the better side through 45 minutes. Can they be a little bit more consistent in the attacking third? Everything to play for here tonight. Cincinnati currently sitting in second position, just behind Philadelphia in the East, and Orlando currently sitting in 7. Our second 45 coming up with Taylor Twellman and Jake Zivin.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Lowe's knows when you own a home or run a business, the things you need add up fast. When you're a member at Lowe's, your earnings add up fast too with a free My Lowe's Rewards membership. Whether you're doing upkeep or upgrades, start earning points toward My Lowe's Money. Get member-only deals and free shipping. Free? Yes, free. Join for free and get more with Lowe's.
Seattle makes noise. We were here. Added time in Philly? Of course. LA captures the cup? Legendary. For 15 seasons and counting, we've had the best view in the house. Join us every week to see what happens next.
There's going out to eat, and then there's going all out with Platinum. There's nothing like having an in with Priority Notify and turning a regular Thursday into the day you tried this, this, and this. And with up to $400 in Resi credit, there's nothing like having an excuse to do it all over again. Nothing like Platinum Nights and realizing the place lives up to the hype. With dining benefits at over 10,000 Resi restaurants. There's nothing like Platinum.
Hey, playing for an Ultra?
We playing for Ultras? Brace you for an Ultra?
Put an Ultra on it.
Don't forget, there's Ultras on the line.
Woo. I didn't.
Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Welcome back to Cincinnati. This broadcast of MLS on Apple TV is presented by T-Mobile. It's a gorgeous night in Ohio. The final match day of September, 3 weeks until decision day. Two teams already in the playoffs, jockeying for position in the East. FC Cincinnati and Orlando City scoreless entering the second half. The supporter cam is brought to you by Lowe's. Visit Lowe's for the ultimate assist on your next project. This is a great soccer city with a tradition that is only now 7 years old, but the march to the match quickly one of the better traditions in Major League Soccer. From over the Rhine to the West End and the TQL Stadium, eventually to their seats in the Bailey, these FC Cincinnati supporters do it before every home match. They love to cheer on their goalkeeper, their number one, Roman Celentano. Matt Miazga as well. Gilberto Flores up in the suite today. Celentano and Miazga both out injured. Both will be back at the least for the playoffs, potentially before then. Evan Laurel making his third start in goal for FC Cincinnati in a row because of Celentano's injury. You would think he was busier in the first half than he was based on looking at the statistics. Orlando City, 11 shots, almost 2 expected goals in that first half. Duncan McGuire with a great chance he put wide. Miles Robinson was fantastic defensively. You heard at halftime from FC Cincinnati head coach Pat Noonan. Let's go down pitch side. Andrew Wiebe, who just spoke with Orlando City manager Oscar Pareja. Andrew.
I had Diego Torres, Jake, the assistant, who stopped by with me. He said, listen, we were very happy with the way that first half went. We need to find the finish when we create those opportunities. Diego said, where they're coming from, all the space in behind Cincinnati's back line. They want to continue to attack that space. He said, listen, we've got to be careful. Their front three is as good as it comes in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Orlando City and FC Cincinnati underway now in the second half at TQL Stadium. 2 games to go after today for Cincinnati, 3 for Orlando. Both teams in the playoffs, assured of that. FC Cincinnati trying to stay in the Supporter Shield race. Orlando trying to move up the table. Bit of a sloppy start both ways to this second half. No substitutions from either manager at halftime. Do you foresee any changes in approach to the second half, Tim?
No, but I think there's got to be a little bit more of a cleaner efficiency with the ball. You heard Pat Noonan going into halftime that they had given the ball away too easily, and already in the second half they've given it away twice.
Echenike towards Denke. It took a deflection. It's off Smith last, and Gillespie will collect.
And I'm going to state the obvious. How many touches did Denke have in the first half? 11. If you want your guy to score goals, you've got to get him touches. 2 of those were decent headers, both Gillespie saves. Some of that's on Denke, but the other part is if you're playing with a little bit more urgency getting into the final third, ultimately your number 9 is going to have more influence on the game, and that ultimately means more touches.
Freeman takes it away. Forward for Ojeda. Slipping it back to Freeman. Saved by Loro. McGuire's shot comes off the chest of Guidi. First corner of the half. First big chance of the half.
Just great composure here. Again, bad giveaway from Cincinnati, but Ojeda looking at the second layer run from Freeman. And Loro coming off his line, making himself big. Great little attack from Orlando City. It's amazing when you look at underlying numbers. Alex Freeman has the same amount of touches in the opposition's box as Zaha in MLS. That's a right back.
He gets forward. On the ball now on the short corner. And Atuesta. Ojeda. Gets away from Brenner. Sets himself up. His shot is saved, and then Janssen puts it over. Big save from Loro. Big miss from Orlando's captain.
Well, and that look says it all from their manager. They've had some quality chances. Through a ton of bodies, Loro just parries this right into the stride of Robin Janssen. And like Duncan McGuire in the first half, that has to hit the back of the net. FC Cincinnati living on the edge right now.
Janssen, the center back, 6 goals in 7 years. That's a tapping. That's a moment even a center back will want back. Still scoreless. Orlando have had the better of the chances. They have picked up where they left off after halftime, but it's 0-0. Denke back to goal. Back to Engel. Engel into nobody. Atuesta was there. Atuesta, Freeman lets it go for Pasalic. Pasalic carrying inside, and still Pasalic poked away by Orishano. Vander forward for Orishano. Big switch, finds Echenike. Brenner! Galessa goes down and makes the save.
Yeah, but that's better from FC Cincinnati. In the vision here from Orishano to find Echenike across the field. Orlando City will try to compress you. And I think that's a good idea for Cincinnati going forward, to switch the point of attack. Maybe a direct ball on a diagonal from 30, 40 yards away. Good opportunity from Brenner and Cincinnati on the counter.
Cincinnati slight favorites to begin this match at home. And despite it being scoreless entering the second half, it's Orlando City now favorites. Certainly a reflection of the statistical margins in the first half, which heavily favored Orlando City. Atuesta trying to get Angulo behind. Echenike and Haglund both there. Echenike trying to get it clear. Maguire on it for Orlando City. Oh, gave it away, back to Ojeda. Evander Schlegel steps up to defend and pokes it away. Oh, Angulo, good touch away from Robinson. Angulo under pressure. 3 Cincinnati defenders surround him. Evander takes it away. Uka running forward. Cincinnati coming on the break. Slides it through for Denke. Denke! Wide.
Just a wonderful run here from Pavel Buka. He does so much of this ball progression stuff for Cincinnati that goes unnoticed. The ball into Denke is perfect into stride, but Denke doesn't hit this right. Frustrated that he doesn't get a cleaner strike to Tescalese. But that's the second time in the span of 3 minutes that Cincinnati have gotten into space and transition to ask questions of this back line of Orlando City.
He has just 2 goals in his last 10 games after 11 in Cincinnati's, or in his first 17 games
He hasn't
of the season.
looked completely fit and confident after the injury.
No changes from either team at halftime. The same 11s that began this match for Cincinnati and for Orlando continue into the second half. There's Alex Freeman for Orlando on the ground. Haglund sweeps away. Atuesta. Orishano for Cincinnati. Brenner. Force it to Denke. It was right to Brekalo, but it's going to come back for a foul. And the yellow card shown to Alex Freeman. So Freeman fouling Orishano. Rosendo Mendoza, the referee, waited to see if advantage would materialize. It did not.
Exactly, and as he should have. But the truth of the matter is Brenner tried to play this killer ball as the referee allows play to continue. And it should have been the layoff to Evander, because that was where the space was there. I'm not sure if the yellow card was given for that little challenge afterwards, or was it the play sooner where he tried to tug him and he allowed play to continue.
Stopping the promising attack,
exactly,
and taking away that option of Orishano's run for Brenner, we would assume is what the yellow card was for. So Freeman, Atuesta, and Brecalo on yellow cards now for Orlando. Samuel Keedy on a yellow card for Cincinnati.
This is a different mentality from Cincinnati, a little bit more high pressure, trying to force a second ball with a long ball from Janssen.
They started the match this way, and it was effective for the first 8 to 10 minutes.
Well, some of that, too, is Orlando City playing through that with a couple combinations, and it forces Pat Noonan and his team to maybe drop in a little bit. I don't mind this.
Continue with the high pressure.
Especially if you've got Miles Robinson as one of your defenders, he can defend in transition.
It works, they win the ball.
Yeah, I thought that was Orlando City's ball. It looked like it came off of Orishano last.
Rosendo Mendoza corrected his initial decision. What a season. Alex Freeman, the 21-year-old, is having his breakout year, an all-star. Had played just 10 minutes before this season. Now he's an everyday starter. He's in with the U.S. national team. Reports have moved to Europe, and this summer it didn't come about. It will happen at some point, you would think. He is a top prospect for the U.S. national team for Orlando. Here's Alex Freeman. Ojeda somehow stays with it. Try to force it into McGuire. That was Hagelin stepping in the way to break it up for Cincinnati. Now Orishano direct towards Denke, who settles, but then Janssen is there. Denke called for a foul. Pasalic, McGuire, just didn't come off. Robinson forward for Echenique. Brecalo over to defend. Echenique cuts inside. Echenique still. Echenique cuts it back. Gillespie on it.
Just a brilliant run from Echenique. Almost identical to the game-winning assist that he had against Nashville in this building, where he laid it back to Evander to finish first time. But the lack of run, dynamic movement from Denke leaves him with no real option other than to ping it inside him and hope for a redirection. There's got to be more of a run from Denke to give Echenique an option.
He's made an impact, a 21-year-old. This is his 5th start, his 7th game. Signed in July using the under-22 initiative. Orishano. Brenner had stopped his run. This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by T-Mobile.
I mean, look at Denke. It's a simple run. It's right in front of the defender. If you pull off of him, come off the shoulder, just give a little bit of dynamic movement to lose your defender, then Echenique can play into his stride. Cincinnati trying to force the issue here, and I don't mind it.
Gillespie will just send to midfield. Hagelin over the back of McGuire. He's called for a foul. Robinson under pressure. He kept that in play. And Denke gives it away. Angulo tried to get it to Smith. Buka broke it up. Evander. Denke spinning. Guidi will try it. Gillespie goes down and makes the save relatively comfortable.
Yeah, but I don't have any issue with that whatsoever, because now the next time any midfielder from Cincinnati steps into the midfield with the ball at his feet, someone from Orlando City has to pressure that ball. Other than the Freeman opportunity early in the second half, Orlando City haven't had a ton going forward.
Atuesta just kind of slips, and it's given away. Buka back to Denke. Echenike slides it forward for Buka. Janssen out defending. Buka cuts it back. Evander. Not the power that he needed to test Gillespie.
You can feel the momentum in the building, turning tide, and really changing in favor of Cincinnati. Oh, how about this ball from Gillespie?
Direct to Maguire. Kind of a half-hearted effort. Thought Laura was off his line. Maybe thought better of it in the end, and it's well wide and non-threatening. Evander into Denke. Leaves it for Evander. Through for Echenike and across! Kind of into the belly of Brenner, who couldn't turn it on goal. It was a little too high.
A little too high, just play it on the ground. If it's on the ground with that pace, it's 1-0 Cincinnati, but because he plays it right into the spot where it's extremely difficult for Brenner to redirect that at all. Cincinnati knocking on the door right now.
Orejano trying it. It was knuckling. It's saved by Gillespie. Brenner a little clip into nobody. Maguire into space. Angulo, Echenike chasing. Echenike did well to get there. There's a player down behind the play. Echenike is down on one end, and Edward Atuesta is down on the exact opposite end of the field for Orlando. The play is stopped for the moment.
Well, there's going to be a question here of whether or not Evander swung his arm out and hits Atuesta with his elbow or fist. Now, my initial thought was Evander's just coming in. It's a late challenge. Referee was going to allow play to continue, and then a yellow would be given. But now the question will be whether or not VAR has to look into this, because there is the intention of swinging the arm out and hitting the head of Atuesta. Watch the right arm of Evander. Now the question will be, is it clear and obvious violent conduct for a possible red card? I mean, my initial thought was Evander hits the chest and then it comes up. And I mean, for me, it was a yellow initially when I saw it, but referee, rightfully so, allowed play to continue because Orlando City was on a counter going the other way. But I don't think it's clear and obvious that it's violent conduct and a red card.
It was checked at length by Edvin Jurasevich. The check is complete. It has been cleared. No clear and obvious error not to give the red card. But Edward Atuesta is down and being looked at by Orlando City's athletic training staff.
But if I'm not mistaken, the referee, because the ball went out, he can come back and give a yellow card to Evander, no?
I think he's going to do so. In real time, Rosendo Mendoza showing the yellow card to Evander. So Evander gets a yellow for that action. Rosendo Mendoza had let play continue to see if advantage would materialize for Orlando. Because of that yellow card, Atuesta can stay on the field. He doesn't need to come off for the off-field treatment rule. And the first change of the match is coming now. It's from Pat Noonan in Cincinnati. Nick Hagglund has come off. Elvis Powell has come on. Powell, the veteran, his 23rd game of the year, his 17th substitute appearance, 13th season in the league, his 5th, a couple stints in Cincinnati. He was an original in 2019. He was here for the more difficult times, a team that finished dead last in Major League Soccer. He returned in 2022 and was then a part and has been a part of the good times, including the Supporters' Shield in 2023. Guidi battling in the midfield. Smith is shown a yellow card. He was late going into Brenner. The 6th yellow card of this match, the 4th Orlando player in the ball.
Well, and it's unfortunate for Kyle Smith because he went for the ball, played the ball, and Brenner came in late, and that's just a little unfortunate. Kyle Smith has impressed me in a couple games that you and I have done where he's had to fill in at defensive midfield. It's almost as if his instincts as a fullback suit the way this is, but I think it only suits it because Atuesta is next to him.
Good look at Rosendo Mendoza's notebook, which is filling up. Smith, the latest Orlando player in there. Orlando preparing a couple substitutions. That's Joran Jarpe and Tyrese Spicer heading to the 4th official. Cincinnati forward, Echenike floating it. Schlegel high into the air, but not clear. Freeman helping it on, and then Pasalic to midfield. Brenner leaving Orishano. Evander. Guidi. Powell stepping forward. Still Elvis Powell. Oh, Elvis Powell! Right at Gillespie, and then Buka scuffs the follow.
Elvis Powell looking like Steven Moreira from the Columbus Crew, just stepping into the midfield, then dicing his defenders, and then blowing by another one. A little bit of a deflection allows Gillespie to make that save. But Pat Noonan changing the complexion of that back three. Now Elvis Powell has a little bit more of a propensity to go forward. Miles Robinson playing in the middle. Oscar Pareja making the right decision. Burbay coming in, Kyle Smith on a yellow, and Spicer coming in for Angulo.
Spicer for Angulo, Jarbe for Smith. The 2 changes, the first 2 for Orlando City in this match, comes in the 70th minute of a still scoreless game. Cincinnati and Orlando City have both already clinched the playoffs. Cincinnati chasing the Supporters' Shield. They need to win today to keep pace with Philadelphia to remain 2 points behind. Orlando City, they want top 4. They want home field advantage in round 1 of the playoffs. They control that. If they win out, they're guaranteed to finish top 4. Loro is going to come out of his area and then bring it back in so he can use his hands. It has been a tense game. Both teams have created chances. Neither have been able to find an opening goal. This match is at well above 4 combined expected goals for these two teams, but no goals. Maybe here for Cincinnati. Buka carrying forward. Echenike. Echenike! It's blocked and it come off Vander.
It did.
It's been that kind of night.
Well, the moment Echenike cuts inside his left foot, Vander was continuing his run. At some point, the referee is keeping track of the time, or he's got to give a yellow card for delaying the restart.
Tells Orlando to hurry up.
Giveaways, hasn't it been, from Orlando City over the last 10 to 12 minutes here?
Cincinnati's pressure has caused problems.
Buka just covers so much ground. He's played everything but 17 minutes for Cincinnati in the regular season. He's been dependable, he's been reliable, but most importantly, he's been available.
They've been without his normal partner in the midfield, Obina Wobodo, for several months. He is still on track to return for the playoffs, potentially by decision day. Cincinnati chose not to put him on the season-ending injury list. Kind of doing him a solid is how they put it, letting him have the chance to come back, and it looks like he'll be able to, and it'd be a big boost for Cincinnati come playoff time, whether off the bench or from the start. Cincinnati wanted a handball there. Rosenda Mendoza gave a foul against Orishano. Again, the pressure from Cincinnati, and they win the ball. Keedy leaving for Orishano. They find the feet of Evander. Now Brenner. Buka. Oh, does well to get it to Evander. He tried to leave for Denke. It just didn't come off.
It didn't come off, but Denke's not given anything for Evander to figure out.
Echenike defends Spicer well.
I mean, this is eerily similar to that game you and I were here 2 weeks ago against Nashville, isn't it?
It is. In that match, it took 8 minutes into added time for Cincinnati to find a winner. It was Evander.
Great time.
Evander. Denke! First time! When you have special players, all you need is one moment. The Bailey erupts. Cincinnati leads 1-0.
As good of a player in Major League Soccer I've ever seen. Watch Evander bring 4 Orlando City defenders by him, and yet the awareness gliding by, but this pass, it's got to be hit at the right pace for Denke to hit it first time. In the life of a goal scorer, you can have 12, 14, 16 touches. It doesn't matter how many, as long as the big one hits the back of the net. Kevin Denke with a massive goal, his 14th of the year, 75th minute. It's 1-0. Cincinnati here at home.
A big goal for Kevin Denke, his first since August 16th. And a big assist for Evander, his 14th of the season, his 5th in the last 3 games, his 5th in the last 180 minutes of play, all primary assists. 31 goal contributions this year now for Evander, draws level with Denis Bouanga, 3rd in Major League Soccer on goal contributions in 2025. And again, it's Evander in the big moment, creating the goal that Cincinnati needs. Kevin Denke is shown a yellow card for taking off his shirt in the goal celebration, his 6th of the season, and the 7th of the match. But he will certainly find that a penalty worth it. It took a while for the opener today. It's FC Cincinnati taking the lead, 1-0 over Orlando. Certainly still more to come here on Sunday Night Soccer. Again, they look for Denke. Gillespie will collect 18 yards off his line. Spicer, oh, just too far for Ojeda. Atuesta trying to find Spicer. Elvis Powell wins the foot race. And then Powell draws the foul. The player comparison is presented by Celsius, pure passion and maximum energy with zero sugar.
And would you ask me about the second half? You've got to find more touches for Denke to get him involved, to get him confidence. At halftime, he had 11 touches. So already before the end of the second half, he's had more touches, and I don't think it's a coincidence. He's got the only goal.
Duncan McGuire just 5 touches in the second half after 18 in the first half. He comes off, Luis Muriel comes on. Adrian Marine comes on for David Brecalo. Orlando City have used 4 of its 5 substitutions. They have 1 window left. Cincinnati has 3 substitutes waiting to come in as well. They chose not to do it in that moment. Brian Anunga, Dominique Marchuk, and Ayub Jabari are all with the 4th official at the moment. And now they will make the triple substitution. They will. Orishano will leave for Dominique Marchuk. Kevin Denke, the goal scorer, will come off. Ayub Jabari will come on. And Pavel Buka will leave. Brian Anunga will come on to try to see this out. Pavel Buka does not often leave the pitch for Pat Noonan. He will get a little rest for the final 10 minutes of this match. Brian Anunga called upon to try to see it out. If Cincinnati can hold on, they will stay within 2 points of Philadelphia with 2 games to go. Freeman settles. Loro at the near post makes the save. It's the second time tonight he's denied Alex Freeman.
Well, and he's just got a real good sense in the final third of the kind of touch that is necessary, the angles that he gets. Same amount of touches in the opposition box as Zaha and Kevin Denke. Remarkable as a right back.
Pasalic will serve, drives that ball in.
Another touch.
Came off of Freeman, yeah, but couldn't put it on goal. The matchday results are presented by AT&T. Miami dropping a couple points in the Supporter Shield race yesterday. Philadelphia still atop. 2 games to go for them. If they win them both, they will win the Supporter Shield. 6-0 against DC yesterday. LAFC continue to roll. Bouanga and Son, just incredible. They will be on Sunday Night Soccer next week hosting Atlanta United. Vancouver win the Cascadia Cup, taking on with the draw 2-2 against Seattle last night. MLS wrap up after us, 9:30 Eastern. Kevin Egan and the guys will break down the entire match day across MLS. Marchuk just into the match for Cincinnati, tries to curl it. It's blocked by Freeman. Muriel battling with Anunga. Marchuk is there to take it away. Muriel fouls Marchuk, trying to win it back. Achibari doing well. Now Evander clipping it to Brenner! Oh! That combination has been lethal. Almost another from Evander to Brenner.
I mean, it's such a wonderfully placed ball at a pace and an angle that allows the attacking player to hit it first time. They have missed their fair share of chances in this second half.
5th and final substitution from Oscar Pareja. Nico Rodriguez comes on for Marco Pasalic. Janssen draws the foul. Evander disagrees with the decision. Brenner turning. Rodriguez coming in with a ton of energy. Powell into Evander. Angle direct for Jabari. Galese read it and will collect. Just the 9th time this season Orlando City have conceded first in a match. The fewest times, 8 coming into today, of any team in MLS. Ojeda, Spicer, he was offside.
The sub of Alvis Powell coming in kind of changed the balance of this team, didn't it? Because it put Miles Robinson at center back of the 3. Alvis Powell had the opportunity on goal, but it just feels like the balance has been better for Cincinnati since that sub. They've been a little bit more dynamic in the final third, and they've defended well in transition.
Yuya Kubo looks to be Pat Noonan's final change of this match. Cincinnati's all-time leader in appearances. He's missed a lot of time this year with an ankle injury. Returning to health, to fitness for the final stretch of the year. Muriel turns and finds Freeman forward. Cutting it back towards Derbe, and now Atuesta. Difficult ball in to Ojeda. Evander, little clip in the space for Marchuk. Marchuk trying to get around Schlegel, draws the yellow card. Schlegel protesting, pleading his case. And into the book.
And I don't see what the argument is whatsoever. You can look at the ref cam, and the cut from Marchuk just throws Schlegel into a bad spot. And then he's pleading his case.
He knows where the camera is. A lot of times those arguments with the place of the ref cam, you're looking at the opposing player's chest, and Rodrigo Schlegel being nice to us in the TV world. With that yellow card, he will miss Orlando's next match, and that is certainly why he was, I think, so demonstrative, pleading to not be shown a yellow. That's next week against Columbus. A big, big game between 7 and 8 right now in the Eastern Conference table. We began the night talking about Orlando trying to get into the top 4 and having control of doing so.
Keep an eye on the back post.
If Vander looks direct, it's right at Gillespie who makes the save. Always Evander a threat from anywhere to hit the ball directly at goal.
He was a little upset with his teammates' run because any kind of deflection, it's 2-0.
Now Orlando, if they drop this result, depending on what happens, they might be looking down the table instead of up it. Meanwhile, Cincinnati, this is just a comfortable spot for them. They've won 15 of their 18 wins this season by just 1 goal. And it's not just this year. In the past 3 seasons, 43 wins by 1 goal. 43 of their 56 total wins over the last 3 years have been by 1 goal. 19 more than next most. And this is a big return for a guy who's loved here at TQL Stadium, Yuya Kubo. Yuya Kubo making his 175th appearance for FC Cincinnati. Big throw from Orlando. Powell, the defensive header. Evander, a little delicate touch to Echenique, and Nunga can't get it forward. Finally, they do to Echenique. He does well to cut it into Nunga. Powell, again, just continuing his run forward. And Evander, Marchuk. Freeman turning away from Marchuk. Freeman, Anunga in the way. He was looking for Ojeda, and Jabari couldn't handle it. Added time is presented by Audi. A minimum 7 minutes left. Marine just steps forward around Brenner and then whipped in. Loro has to make the save. Spicer hit it right at the goalkeeper. Now Rodriguez trying to get around Marchuk. Pokes it to Ojeda, who misses. They have had chances tonight. Still can't find a goal.
On his third straight start for the injured Celentano, Loro does a good job of just making sure he holds his ground, but Marchuk's got to defend better here. You cannot allow Rodriguez to go right by you and not see the play out. On one hand, you can count in 2025 chances that Martin Ojeda has missed from that distance, and 2 of them have been tonight.
5 players in MLS with 30 or more goal contributions this year. 2 of them on the field tonight. Evander for Cincinnati, Ojeda for Orlando. The 1 goal today, assisted by Evander, his 31st goal contribution of the season. Ojeda, what a chance for number 31 of his own. But the difference, Evander and Denke coming through. Cincinnati lead 1-0 in added time. Rodriguez behind Muriel, Atuesta, Ojeda, Muriel misses!
Oh my goodness.
What else? Oscar Pereira must be asking, what else can they do?
Well, they've had their chances tonight, majority of them in the first half, but over the last 3 or 4 minutes, Ojeda and Muriel both with glorious opportunities to tie the game. He's a little bit behind Muriel, just a tad, but still, you've got to find a way to at least force Loro to make a save.
Orlando's 3 designated players, Muriel, Ojeda, Pachulich, have combined for 62 goal contributions this year, more than any designated player trio in Major League Soccer. Those type of players you need to finish in those types of moments. They haven't been able to tonight. Ubo takes the foul. Orlando have urgency. $19 more wins than next best by 1 goal over the past 3 seasons for Cincinnati. 43 and 13 in 1-goal games. 43 wins, 13 losses. Will tonight be number 44? Or can Orlando spoil the party and get a result? Good ball. Ojeda! Off of Robinson, corner coming. Maybe the wrong choice from Ojeda, who had Muriel in the middle.
Oh, and since the recent subs of FC Cincinnati, the midfield's been a little bit out of sorts. Anunga and Kubo are just being run right through, with Ojeda being the culprit of anything going forward for Orlando City.
Pressure continuing from Orlando. Ojeda, near post, Engel heads away. Spicer settles, oh, a heavy touch. And then just out of the reach of Evander. Now Ojeda popping it in. Freeman settling, Janssen trying to get it back. Ojeda, no, Rodriguez, or rather Marine sends it wide.
My goodness.
He took it off the foot of the main man. And it is still somehow Cincinnati 1, Orlando 0.
Cincinnati, I'm not sure how they are up this game 1-0. The ball bounces with nobody about Marine and not a single Cincinnati player within 3 or 4 yards. 3 glorious opportunities in extra time to tie the game, and it's still 1-0 Cincinnati at home.
Brenner trying a little flick, didn't come off.
Cincinnati have just lost their shape, Jake.
I mean, Orlando just keep coming. And they have time still. Spicer. Oh, spinning. Spicer crossing, Freeman heading! There it is! A goal that was on its way for Orlando City! And it's their young star, Alex Freeman, leveling the match late in Ohio. 1-1.
Second half subs becoming the difference here for Orlando City. Cincinnati have lost their shape since they've subbed. Spicer just picks up his head. And a great cross to the back post for a right back that has now scored 6 goals in MLS. As clinical of a header as you will ever see in extra time. Big time goal from the U.S. international, Alex Freeman.
Alex Freeman's 6th goal of the year. The breakout star for Orlando City this season, the 21-year-old into the national team, and just yet another moment for him in this glorious 2025 year. Alvis Powell coming forward now. Cincinnati want to find a winner. Robinson, angle, floating it towards Jabari. Cleared away by Spicer. Nunga let it bounce. Evander on it. Does he have some more late game magic? Orlando were at 3.58 expected goals in this game before the goal. Evander flicked on Jabari, but Gillespie read it. It's just 1-1, but it's been a thrilling night in Cincinnati. Could Orlando find a winner? Ojeda to Spicer. Back to Martin Ojeda, floating it into the box. Marchuk heading forward. Jabari a touch into space. Evander let Jabari have it. Here comes Cincinnati. Kubo. Oh, intervened by Schlegel. It's a handball. Cincinnati will have a set piece in what could be the final moment of this match. Pedro Gillespie, about 35 yards away from Evander. Will he try? If anybody can score from this distance, it is Evander.
Well, he's going to want some kind of run and distraction off the back post.
Here is Evander with pace, but over into the Bailey. And it's full time in Cincinnati. It's Alex Freeman spoiling Cincinnati's party. Orlando City getting a late equalizer, and it ends 1-1. A potential death blow to FC Cincinnati's supporter shield hopes. And some big momentum for Orlando City. Unbeaten in 3 after Leagues Cup. Oscar Perea continuing a conversation with the referee, Rosendo Mendoza, and he might feel like they should have had more out of this game given all the chances. But it ends 1-1. Duncan McGuire scored a late winner last week. Now he gives props to the player of the match, the man who scores a late equalizer this week, Alex Freeman.
Yeah, but a tip of the cap to Spicer. What a wonderful ball that is. Just taking his defender on and then whipping it back post. Freeman had 2 or 3 great opportunities in the second half, but as big of a goal as he has scored all season long. 6 goals as a right back with a great energy going forward, but the ability to finish plays off in the final third. I think the result is fair for Orlando City. Easily could have scored 4 goals on the night.
Kevin Denke thought he had a winner for Cincinnati. Not to be. Alex Freeman, what a moment. 1-1, thrilling final. We'll be back from Ohio.
At RBC Wealth Management, we know you have ideas for your future. Ideas that can have you enjoying the moment or owning the moment. They can bring investment opportunities or opportunities to invest in yourself. Ideas that can have you doing good or feeling great. From following your passion to making your passion work for you. What ideas will you bring to life? Know more with RBC Wealth Management.